the devotees all over the world, some don't want us to be there, they don't want to see us. And so I figured if they don't want to see us, then they don't have to come online. And the ones who want to see us can come online. Right? Okay. So, Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas. This is, look, Radhe Radhe. This is the 30 plus group, not the 300 plus group. That's Krishna Chandra Prabhu there. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe.
Where's everyone from? Like all over Europe?
Switzerland and Germany.
Okay. Switzerland and Germany. Take care. So, and India. Take care. A monkey will probably come and steal this anyway, so Hare Krishna. I'm going to turn it like this. I don't know if I'm going to put it right here. You keep this over there. Thank you. Just turn the
So.
It's one of those good things. Maybe Mangalacharna?
Yes.
Did you all just arrive here also?
No, quite some days ago.
No, here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right
Okay. They got the shoe.
Oh. Just go ahead, girl.
Be careful about fighting with the babies. The big ones don't like that. anyone else would like to play?
You?
Hey, wir dürfen einen Sringarvat Bhajan machen. Wie miteinander.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hari ki
Jai.
Shri Radha Keshava ki Jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Would you like to do more singing kirtan or more speaking kirtan? Both. Okay, speaking kirtan, then more singing kirtan. There's a misconception in the world that kirtan means only singing.
Das Kirtan nur singen sein. Kirtan ist ja schön.
We're all familiar with that prayer, Harer Nam, Harer Nam,
Harer
Nam,
Nam,
Eva
Eva
Kevalam,
Kevalam,
Kalo Nastyeva, 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 Gatiranyata. It states that in this age of Kali,
In diesem Zeitalter von
this
Kali
age of quarrel, hypocrisy, and so many difficulties, there's no other way to attain perfection other than Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam. Literally, that means the name of God.
der Name Gottes.
3 times it is said.
Das heißt, dreimal heißt das.
And so some people think that means only singing
Das bedeutet auch singen.
the names of God,
Die Namen Gottes.
or even chanting my japa,
Oder
but the
Chapa
names.
chanten, das ist doch der Name.
Not realizing that
Aber nicht verstehen.
Abhinatva Nama Namino. There's no difference between the Lord and His name.
Krishna und seinen Namen.
So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he explains
Prabhupada hat
that
erklärt,
Harer Nam Eva Kevalam
Harena
means the names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. And what does Krishna say
Was sagt Krishna?
in Bhagavad Gita? Matchita
Matgata.
Madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantas chamam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. So he's saying, my devotees are always experiencing ever-increasing pleasure and happiness by remembering and discussing my names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. And Srila Rupa Goswami has given us, within Sri Upadeshamrita, the nectar of instruction, his own essence of all advice. Akilam iti upadesha saram. This is the essence of all advice. What is that?
Was ist das? Dann
Kalam nayad. Without cessation. 24 hours a day. Like a constant stream of honey or a constant stream of oil without any breaking. While residing in Vrindavan,
im Darm zu sein.
under the guidance of an eternal associate of Krishna,
Begleiten von Frau und Krishna.
whose heart is overflowing with
Dessen
love for
Herz
Krishna,
überwältigt ist mit Liebe zu Krishna.
to always be deeply
So
absorbed
soll man tief absorbiert sein
in remembering and glorifying
und hören
Tannama Rupa Charita Adi.
und Adi.
Means Krishna's name,
Der Name,
forms,
Formen,
qualities, pastimes, and so forth. It means his associates, his dham, everything to do with him and his vicinity.
alles was seine Nähe ist.
Sukirtananu means deeply absorbed in that kirtan,
Tief absorbiert sein.
which means it must be in that association of those whose hearts are overflowing with prem. The next line is quite amazing because it says smrityo, to remember,
Man soll erinnern,
kramena, sequentially,
Kramena.
in a
in einer
sequence,
Sequenz,
within your mind,
im Geist,
manasa, rasanam manasi niyojya, tasting the pastimes of Krishna as they are going on throughout the entire day and night.
passieren lässt.
This is the essence of all advice
Das ist die
prescribed by
Essenz von
Srila
allen
Goswami.
Unterweisungen und
So our Srila Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, he has explained that what is the most powerful form of kirtan.
Was ist die kräftigste Form von Kirche?
They're singing the names, but Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, why are we singing?
Warum singen
Why are we
wir?
singing the bhajans and the kirtan?
Warum singen wir die
To
Kirche?
attract people to come and hear the glories of Krishna.
Anzukommen, dass sie die Herrlichkeit von Krishna dann hören können.
What are the true Brijvasis, the eternal associates of Krishna, always doing?
Was machen die ewigen Einwohner von Vrindavan?
They're singing his names.
Sie singen seine Namen.
Govinda
Govinda Rama
Everyone in Vrindavan,
Alle in Vrindavan.
they love to gossip. What do they gossip about? What do they gossip about? Did you hear what Krishna did today? I heard he was such a naughty boy. He was going from home to home stealing butter. And then when he would get caught, he would say, oh, this butter is no good. It's not even fit for monkeys. I'll go somewhere else. Your butter is no good. Did you hear what he did? How cheeky he is. What a nonsense little boy he is. And the gopis, when they can speak about him, beautiful, dark complexion, handsome, heroic young man. Oh, he captures the hearts of everyone. If only I can meet with him. But they can't even tell it by words. They're speaking very loudly, but like this. They can't speak it out loud. So Gurudev said that the most powerful form of kirtan is Harikatha, the glorification of Krishna, his names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. What is emanating from the heart of his pure devotees who are experiencing transcendental relationship with him. He said that is the most powerful form of kirtan. And he said, who is the best kirtaniya? Sukadev Goswami. Sri Narottam Das Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, our Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Varga, they are the most powerful kirtaniyas because they are glorifying Krishna everywhere. So not only singing, because it can be very easily mistaken to be for the purpose of my pleasure. Oh, I like that sound. It sounds so nice. And I start feeling a buzz when I'm singing. Oh, that feeling is so good. Did you feel the buzz? And we forget what is the purpose of calling the names of Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam tells that there are 9 different processes of bhakti. Navata bhakti. Not Krishna Chandra Prabhu. Anyone else? Can you start the verse? What's the beginning of the 9 processes of bhakti? Anyone else other than him? He knows a lot more than me. So. Shravanam. Very good. Next. Next. Okay. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Iti Pungsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischchen Navalakshanam. With these 9 processes of surrender, Bhaktischchen Navalakshanam. These are the 9 processes of bhakti. What is bhakti? So if we're doing kirtan, then really it must be a process of bhakti, not just sitting down to sing. And when we speak, it shouldn't just be sitting down to speak. There must be an intention, a purpose behind it. And if we understand that these things are the processes of bhakti, then we must understand what is bhakti. Otherwise, instead of approaching these aspects for the purpose of serving and pleasing Krishna, we will approach all of the activities of bhakti for how it makes me feel, how it pleases my own senses. Then it won't be bhakti to Krishna, it will be bhakti to myself. And I won't be able to awaken my love and affection for Krishna. What is the definition of bhakti? Whenever our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj would ask this question, he wouldn't be satisfied unless we quoted a very particular verse given by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:1:11. Krishna Chandra Prabhu, what is that verse? Jnana-karma-dhyanavritam anukulena krishnanu shilanam bhakti-uttama. Actually, the last line only says Bhakti Uttama. This is pure bhakti, or the highest bhakti, the highest devotion to Krishna. And the third line
Und die dritte Linie sagt,
is the one telling what is bhakti, and the first two lines are telling what is not bhakti. Apparently, it's so important to understand what is not bhakti
was ist nicht Bhakti, ist auch nicht
that they placed it there right in the beginning. The first two lines, half of the verse tells you you thought that was bhakti, but you were wrong. It's not bhakti. The third line tells you what it is.
dritte Linie sagt, was Bhakti
So I'm
ist.
going to tell you first what is not
So, was ist
bhakti,
nicht
or what is
Bhakti?
not favorable to bhakti.
Was nicht förderlich.
Anya abhilash ita.
Anya, was
Any other desire other than the desire to serve and please Krishna.
alles, was nicht
Any other desire,
Wunsch ist, für Christus erfüllen.
meaning any selfish desire,
Jegliche
or even for the
Selbst-
pleasure of others.
oder für ihn, für andere Menschen.
One time, one devotee came to the temple in Los
Ein
Angeles,
Los Angeles, ein Devotee,
and he was an expert kirtaniya.
perfekte Kirche.
He had practiced and learned in
Hat
Bengal
alles
for many
gelernt
years,
in Bengal für viele Jahre.
and he said, when he first arrived, I will sing so sweetly that all of the ladies of this temple will fall in love with me.
Ich liebe dich gerade nicht. Alle
I heard him.
lieben sich gerade nicht. Ich sing so schön.
Is that bhakti for Krishna? No. No. So if that's the motivation, to please others so that they will fall in love with me,
Das sind
or
Leute, die
to
mich verlieben.
just be so amazing myself so that I will fall more in love with myself,
Oder
which
dass ich mich
today is
selber
considered
liebe,
quite
selber
normal,
liebe.
right? Everyone is taking selfies, Hare Krishna. Right? It's considered normal, this vanity.
So eine
So if I'm singing for myself or speaking for myself in a way that is for my own ego or trying to impress others, this is also not bhakti. And also if my motivation is to
Motivation.
free myself from suffering, if that's my motivation,
Free from?
to free myself from suffering. Oh, I'm having a lot of stress. So let me engage in the aspect of bhakti known as kirtan so that I can escape from all of it and feel relaxed.
Einfach nur Frieden haben.
This is not bhakti. And the ultimate extent of that is the desire to merge. That I don't want to feel any happiness or distress. Let me just become one with the one and cease to acknowledge my own individual existence. This is referred to in this verse as jnana. Knowledge aimed at impersonal liberation. This is not bhakti.
Das ist nicht Bhakti.
A lot of people think it is because it's kirtan, but maybe it's not kirtan for Krishna's pleasure. Hare Krishna.
Hey,
No.
komm mal her.
No, it's okay. And the next one mentioned is karma. What is karma?
Karma bedeutet,
Many of us are familiar with it. If we want something
wenn wir etwas
out
wollen,
of doing kirtan or doing any of the aspects of bhakti,
das ist ein
That- oh.
Aspekt von Bhakti.
I need money. I'm really sad.
Bekommen dafür.
I'm not happy with my life. I need a house. Oh God, please help me
Helf mir, Gott.
to fulfill my material desires.
Materielle Wünsche.
So I will pray to God to help me fulfill my material desires.
Materielle Wünsche sind erfüllt.
Most people who are sports fans understand this very well.
Sport.
They're praying for their team to win.
Beten fürs
They never pray to God
Gewinnen.
otherwise, but if they're close, they're like, please God, I swear, if you let my team win,
Lass mein Team gewinnen.
I'll go to church once.
Dann gehe ich einmal in die Kirche.
This is called karma.
Das nennt man Karma.
You're making a business deal with God.
Business deal mit Gott.
But it's not really for the pleasure or service of God. Really, it's engaging God in my service.
Die Freude Gottes
So
und
it's
Gott
not
in meinen Dienst.
bhakti.
Das ist nicht Bhakti.
And then there's a word in there which is very sneaky. It's just thrown in there. A little word, it's a 3-letter word called adi. It means and so forth.
Und so weiter.
All of the other ideas that we fool ourselves into thinking
In die wir uns
is
betrügen.
bhakti.
Das ist nicht Bhakti.
Because it has some resemblance to anything Indian, for example. Right?
Wenn
It's
etwas
the
einfach nur
clothes.
indisch
Therefore, it's
ausschaut,
bhakti.
das hat doch nichts mit Bhakti zu tun.
Or it's something else that might be, the wooden articles, or maybe incense or something, and
Incense.
or a peacock feather I'll put on my in my vase at home, this is bhakti.
Das ist Bhakti.
It can be if it always reminds you of
Wenn
Krishna.
sich immer an Krishna erinnert.
But just thinking that something Indian is bhakti, this is
Aber einfach
also
nur, wenn etwas
false.
Indisches etwas mit Bhakti zu tun hat, ist völlig
Because there's a lot of not bhakti in India
so
as well
viel
as the rest of the world.
Nicht-Bhakti-Sachen in Indien.
And that includes things like thinking that
Zu
by,
denken.
breathing, pranayama, it's connected, it's related to yoga, so therefore
yoga.
it is a part of bhakti. But that's not true. That's for your health,
Das
for
ist
the
für deine
body,
Gesundheit, für den Körper.
and maybe even to lift your soul up to a certain level.
Und vielleicht die Seele ein bisschen zu
But it's not bhakti. And stretching, Ashtanga yoga,
Das Stretching, Ashtanga Yoga.
makes your body feel really good and gives you good toned muscles.
So Kraft im Muskeln.
But that is actually contraindicated for bhakti because it makes one feel very powerful and the ego also increases along with it. So that's also included, along with astrology, gemology, numerology, and all of these other practices which are,
Astrologie und alles hat man richtig verstanden.
it's okay
Ist alles okay.
if this is your business, but we shouldn't confuse it with bhakti.
Aber nicht das als den inneren Weg.
Right? So many people have businesses. A farmer has a business, he's farming. I made that mistake when I went to Fiji. I thought, oh, this is like Vaishnava Dharma, farming. It's not Vaishnava Dharma. Anyone can farm.
Jeder kann Bauer sein.
What is my intention?
Was ist meine Absicht?
The intention is the most important thing.
Die Absicht ist das Allerwichtigste.
So the third line of this verse describing bhakti
Beschreibt Bhakti.
is Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Anukul means favorable. This word anu also has a very particular and especially important meaning.
Eine ganz wichtige Bedeutung.
It means anugatya, under guidance.
Unter Führung.
If I try to do it on my own, if I try to run to Krishna on my own without approaching his associates, without taking shelter of someone who is in love with Krishna, then I won't be able to awaken real bhakti. Because bhakti is awakened in the association of those who have love for Krishna. Bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya. Bhakti is awakened by associating with the devotee. So in this case, Mahadev, Lord Shiva, he tells of all kinds of worshipable personalities. Aradhananam Sarvesham. Who is the highest? Vishnur Aradhanam Param. Now Vishnu means Vishnu, Krishna, Narayan, etc. In Bhagavatam also, Vikritam Rajabudubir Idam Cha Vishnu. Vishnu also means Krishna. But Vishnur Aradhanam Param. Vishnu is the topmost worshipable personality. But then Mahadev says, Tasmat, but
Tasmat Parataram Devi.
Parataram Devi. There's something even more than that. Oh Devi, more than that. Tadyanam Samarchanam. If you serve that person who is close to the heart of Krishna, who he considers dear to himself, this is even superior than worshipping Krishna himself. Now this is spoken from the mouth of that person who we refer to as the topmost devotee of the Lord. Vaishnavanam Yatashambho. But he himself is glorifying
Ist verherrlicht.
Kada karishyasi hamang kripa kataksha bhajan. He is glorifying that topmost personality who is the nearest and dearest to Krishna. And right in this place, Krishna proved it.
Und da an diesem Ort hat Krishna das bewiesen.
That's why he's called Keshava.
Deswegen heißt Krishna auch Keshava.
Because even Krishna wants an opportunity to serve that personality.
Möchte eine Möglichkeit haben, Radharani
Makeshvari, Kriyeshvari, Swadeshvari, Sureshvari, Triveda Bharatishvari, Pramana Sashaneshvari, Rameshvari, Shameshvari, Pramodakhanaveshvari, Vrajeshvari, Vrajadipe, Shri Radhike Namostute. Krishna himself is eager for her association. And he said the name already. That is Radharani, Srimati Radhika. You can find this whole prayer
Das ist ganz
Munindra Vrindavandite Triloka Shokaharini in the Urdhvam Naya Tantra, spoken by Shankar Mahadev to his consort Uma. He's repeating what he has heard from the gopis.
wiederholt, dass will
In the form of Gopishwar Mahadev, he has heard the gopis glorify Srimati Radhika. And he's repeating this as Harikatha.
Das verherrlicht
When, oh when will she bestow upon me her merciful sidelong glance?
Radharani mit einem Seitenblick und aller Segen durch diesen Blick.
Sri Satyavrat Muni has confirmed this in Sri Damodarashtakam. He starts with Namam Ishwaram.
Namami,
Oh my Lord, oh my God,
oh Gott,
I'm offering my pranam again and again
ich
unto your
opfere dir
lotus feet.
meine Verehrung.
You are the supreme controller
Du
of
bist der höchste
everything.
Kontrolleur.
A few verses in, you see his transitioning. Our Gurudev said over millions of years this was manifesting from his heart.
Millionen von Jahren mehr und mehr manifestiert.
He said, Idam Deva Purnata Gopala. I always would like to see this beautiful form of yours being bound by the ropes of love of your mother Yashoda. I would like to see this beautiful form of Bal Gopal.
Bala Gopal.
But still, as he's progressing, he's not fully satisfied.
Ist nicht
He
ganz
knows
zufrieden.
that unless he takes shelter of that person who is even the Swamini of Krishna,
Die Swami ist ein Christus, die Herrin von Krishna.
that he won't be able to attain his cherished desire.
Dann kann sein Wunsch nicht erfüllt
So
bekommen.
finally at the end,
Am Schluss
Namaste Sudhamne Spurat Dittidame Tadiya Dorayata Vishwasya Dhamne Namo Radhikaye Swadiya Priyaye Namo Anantalilaya Devaya Tubyam. Here he uses the word Tadiya. Now previously I told Tadiya.
Tadiya.
Mahadev said, Tadiyanam Samarchanam, to serve that person who is the most dear. Satyavrat Muni is now offering his pranam at the feet of that person who is the most dear. Tadiya Priya. Tadiya Priyaye Namo Radhikaye. He's praying at her feet for the mercy of Krishna. So in Vrindavan, that's the speciality of the Brajvasis. Everywhere you go, they know. Radhe Radhe. Vrindavan is a special place where Krishna forgets his godliness, his majesty, and everything.
Und seine Majestät vergisst.
Just like when you go to work, you have a certain persona.
Wenn du
Put your suit and your tie. Most of us probably don't, but many people do. They go to work and they're Mr. So-and-so and they shake hands and they have their important position. But as soon as you get home, you rip the tie off, you take the jacket off, you know, you take your socks and shoes off and you sit down on the couch and you just relax and then you're enjoying with your family and there's no formality. This is the place, Vrindavan, of Krishna's no formality. It's a special place. And all the rest in Vaikuntha planets, even in Dwarka, Ayodhya, there's so much formality.
Gibt so viel Formalität.
Right? Everyone's praying, Om Jai Jagadish Hare.
Hare.
In the rest of all of the creation,
In der ganzen Schöpfung.
Keshava Dritta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare. Right? But in Vrindavan,
Aber in Vrindavan
it's almost the opposite. Keshava is going to his devotee, Srimati Radhika, and praying, Smaragarakandanam Mama Shira Shivandanam Dehi Padapalavadanam. Please be merciful to me and extinguish this blazing fire which is in my heart by placing your cooling lotus feet upon my head. He's praying for the dust of her feet. This is a speciality of Vrindavan, where Krishna is becoming completely subjugated by the love and affection of his devotees. So we came here to this most amazing place.
Diese Worte sind jetzt gelandet.
This is known as Sringarvat, and it is also known as Nityananda Vat. Vat means tree.
Watt heißt Baum.
The original is here.
Das ist ein uralter, 5000 Jahre alter Baum. Aber da ist noch
Sri Nityananda Prabhu himself would come here
Nityananda ist hierher gekommen.
with all of his devotees
Mit seinen Devoten.
and do kirtan,
Und hat Kirtan hier gemacht.
calling out the names of the Lord and also glorifying the pastimes of the Lord.
Die Spiele des Herrn.
So if Nitai is coming here,
Wenn Nitai hierher kommt,
he's establishing a platform.
macht eine Plattform.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada
Saraswati
explains
Prabhupada sagt,
there is a very deep connection between
es gibt eine ganz
Nityananda
tiefe
Prabhu,
Verbindung zwischen
or the function of Nityananda Prabhu, and the function of Radharani.
und der Funktion von Radharani.
Nitayar Kuruna Have, Braje Radha Krishna Pave, Haro Nitai, Charana Vikana. Without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, without his stamp of approval,
Ohne seine Stempel,
without his visa stamp,
seine Visa
you cannot gain entrance into the service of Radha and Krishna.
kannst du nicht den Dienst von Radha Krishna gelangen.
Because without his mercy, his stamp of approval, you will not be able to even attain the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Kannst du den Gnade von Chaitanya Mahaprabhu nicht bekommen.
Raghunath Das Goswami.
Raghunath Das Goswami,
Now this is very interesting because we were just speaking about going to Krishna directly, but it doesn't work. Raghunath Das Goswami went directly to Chaitanya
Raghunath
Mahaprabhu.
Das Goswami ist direkt zu Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gegangen.
Mahaprabhu said, don't be like a mad person,
Sei nicht wie
a
ein
crazy person. Go home.
Geh nach Hause.
Be like normal in the world.
Sei normal in der Welt.
But in your heart, you should develop your Krishna consciousness. And when the time is right, Krishna will make all arrangements for you.
Krishna wird alle Arrangements für dich machen.
So Raghunath Das went home
Raghunath Das Goswami ist nach Hause gegangen.
after some time,
Nach einiger Zeit,
as his heart was glowing brighter
wo sein
with
Herz
deep inspiration and greed
Inspiration und
for the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, due to the association of great Vaishnavas like
durch die Gemeinde
Haridas Thakur and
Haridas
Yadunandan
Thakur und
Acharya.
Yadunandan Acharya.
Eventually Raghunath Das
Raghunath Das
attained
Goswami
permission from his family
hat von seiner
to
Familie
go see
erlaubt,
Sri Nityananda Prabhu.
zu Nityananda zu
And he
gehen.
was sent with a lot of guards to watch him
Und viele
and also a
Waffen
lot of money to serve the
und
Vaishnavas.
viel Geld, um den Vaishnava zu dienen.
He was the heir to $1 trillion fortune. Really, it would have been trillions at that time.
Wäre ein Billionär heute, so aus einer reichen Familie kommt er.
But he only wanted to love Krishna.
Aber er wollte nur Krishna.
So Raghunath Das Goswami,
Raghunath Das
he
Goswami
went and he was hiding at a distance from Nityananda Prabhu.
hat sich von
Nityananda Prabhu said, someone told him, hey, look, Raghunath is there hiding in the
dort
distance.
hinten versteckt sich der Raghunath.
Nitai said, hey, Raghunath, come here.
Komm hierher.
Only a thief stays hiding in a distance.
Nur ein Dieb versteckt sich weit weg.
You have tried to take Radhe,
Hey!
Radhe, Radhe. So he used the word thief, saying only a thief stays hidden in the distance. And then he also made another implication. He said, you tried to steal what is my property without getting my permission, without coming to me. You went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Nityananda Prabhu gave his full mercy.
Hat die ganze Gnade gegeben.
And he said, because you are a thief, I must punish
Weil
you.
du ein Dieb bist.
What was the punishment he gave
Was ist die
him?
Strafe?
You must serve all of the
Du musst
Vaishnavas.
allen Vaishnavas dienen.
So Raghunath immediately engaged all of the money he had
Und alles
and
Geld, das
throwing a
hatte,
big feast for all of the Vaishnavas. Thousands and thousands came to that place, and there was a wonderful festival.
ein
To the
wunderbares
Dahi
Festival.
Maha Mahotsava at Panihatti.
Panihatti Festival.
And there, all of the Vaishnavas took to their heart's content, and it was such an amazing offering that even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was seen by so many. He manifested in that place. And he was wandering up and down the lines, taking prasad from everyone's plate, putting it in the mouth of Nityananda
Hat in
Prabhu.
den Mund von Nityananda.
So many were able to witness
Viele
this.
haben das gesehen.
And then Raghunath fell at the feet of Nityananda
Raghunath Das
Prabhu,
ist an der
who
Füße
placed
von
his lotus
Nityananda
feet upon the head of Raghunath.
und hat seine
Nitai
Füße
Pada
auf
Kamala,
Raghunath Das
Koti
gemacht.
Chandra Shushitala, Jai Chayai Jagata Jurai. The lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu are more cooling than
Nityananda sind
millions
kühlender
of
als
moons.
Millionen von Monden.
And Ar Kabe Nitai Chalde, Koruna Hoibe, Sang Sarabashanamor, Kabe Tuchahave. When Sri Nityananda Prabhu will give his mercy,
Seine Gnade gibt,
then your entire existence in this material world will be rendered insignificant. Radhe
unbedeutend.
Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
You know that verse? Samashrita ye
Palavam
padapalavam
Mahat Padam Punya Yasho Murare Padam Padam
Bhavam Budir
Vatsa
Padam Param Padam 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 Yati Padam Natesham. For that person who surrenders unto Krishna and accepts the shelter of his pure devotees, Mahat Padam Punya Yasho Murare, Bhavambudir vatsa padam param padam, padam padam yadvi padam natesham. The ocean of material existence
Die ganze materielle
is
Existenz
rendered, made as insignificant as the water in the hoofprint of a
wie das
calf.
Wasser im Fußabdruck einer Kuh, einem Kalb.
So Nitai placed his lotus feet on the head of Raghunath and said, I remove all of your obstacles. Now there will be no more material impediments. Now you can go to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu gave his full mercy to Raghunath, who then ran to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
Und er ist zu Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
and was never hindered again.
wurde nie wieder gehindert.
And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately gave him unto the shelter of
Chaitanya
Swarup Damodar Goswami.
Hat er in die Hand gegeben von Swarup Damodar Goswami.
But I'm telling this for a particular reason.
Ich sage das für einen Grund.
If you try to jump over without going through the proper channel, you will only experience difficulty and be sent back. But if you follow the proper course, step by step,
Schritt für Schritt,
then very easily
dann
you
ganz
will
einfach.
attain to that highest goal.
Wirst du so
By the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu,
durch die Gnade von Nityananda
one can dive deep into the waves of Gaura Prem.
kannst du eintauchen in
And
Gaura
Narottam
Prem.
Das Thakur says,
Narottam Das
Gaura
Thakur,
Prema,
Rasana
Rasanare,
Ve,
Setarange,
Setarange,
Javarve,
Javarve,
Serat,
Madhava
Antaranga.
Antaranga.
Diving deep into the waves
Du tauchst
of
ein in die
Gauranga's
Wellen
Prem.
von Lord Chaitanyas
It
Liebe.
is said sometimes diving into the Ganga in Mayapur
Wie in die
Navadip.
Ganga eintauchen.
But diving into those waves of the love that Mahaprabhu has within his heart, one will rise in the Yamuna into the association of Shishi, Radha and Madhava. Say Radha Madhava Antaranga by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Durch die Gnade von Mahaprabhu.
So first taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu in
Zuerst von
this place,
Nityananda,
begging for his mercy.
zuerst das für seine Gnade.
Nitayar Kuruna Have, Braje Radha Krishna Pave, Dhara Nitayar Charana Dukani. Again and again Narottam is saying, taking shelter of the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, only by that will I be able to attain the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So I'm holding on tightly to the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. So Nitai has come here to give his mercy.
Nityananda ist hierher gekommen,
He is
seine
the
Gnade zu
original
geben.
Guru,
Er ist der
Khanda Guru
ursprüngliche Guru.
Tattva, the original source of all gurus, kind
Er
of like
ist
the
die Quelle von allen
fountainhead.
Gurus.
By taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu,
Von
then
Nityanandas Gnade
he will point us in the proper
und
direction
zeigt er uns in eine Richtung hier.
toward the service of Shri Shri, Radha and
Der
Krishna in
Dienst zu Radha
Vrindavan.
und Krishna.
This place is known as
Heißt
Sringarvat
Sringarvat.
because this is the place where Krishna was decorated. Srimati Radhika.
Dekoriert Radharani.
Sringar means to decorate.
Sringar heißt dekorieren.
When Krishna was dancing with millions of gopis there in Vangshivat. Have you been to Vangshivat?
We go just now.
Okay, so then I'll tell you a little bit of a prelude. Generally, we go first to Gopeshwar Mahadev
Let's get it.
to
We'll
get his
go-
blessings that please allow me into your dham because he's the guardian.
Gib mir einen
Hampal.
Einblick.
Then, by the mercy of Gopeshwar, then we go to
Die Gnade
Vangshivat.
von der
And then we follow the path that Srimati Radhika and Krishna
Und dann
took.
da, wo Krishna und Radharani
So from
gehen.
Vangshivat, actually from Vangshivat, then goes to Dhir Samir,
Dir Samir.
then here, then Imlitala,
Ja.
Mansarovar. So, Krishna on a full moon night, that was Sharad Purnima,
Im Vollmond,
looked up in the sky and saw the most amazing thing. Beautiful reddish moon was rising.
Der rote Mond.
And that reddish moon
Der rote Mond
is the color of Anurag.
ist die
Anurag
Farbe von Anurag, von Sehnsucht.
is the mood of love and affection. And it has a
Der Liebe und
complexion.
Zuneigung.
And so Krishna was desiring to dance.
Krishna
So
möchte
then he
tanzen.
began playing on his flute, Radhe,
Er
Radhe.
beginnt zu Flöte zu tanzen.
He has broadcast
Radharani.
tunes and broadcast flutes. If anyone knows like how broadcast groups work on WhatsApp or anything, Krishna doesn't need WhatsApp. He has his flutes and different flutes and different songs on his flutes. And when he's playing through his flute, through the holes of his flute, he can call his friends, his cowherd boy friends, or he can call his cows or calves, or he can call his gopis, and he can also call particular groups of gopis.
So eine ganze Gruppe von Gopis kann er rufen.
That night he was calling Radhe, Radhe, and calling her through the holes in his flute. His flute is very powerful.
Seine Flöte ist so kraftvoll.
Where he himself may not be able to go, that flute song can go.
Wo er nicht hingehen kann, kann die Flöte hingehen.
It can go through the cracks in the doors, through the keyholes and through the windows. Enter into the ears of any gopi. Go into her heart, steal it, and then flies back toward him.
Und fliegt zurück zu ihm.
So he was calling Radhe, Radhe, I need you. Without you, how can I maintain my life?
Ich kann mein Leben nicht
Desiring to
erhalten.
dance. He was calling her.
Ruft sie.
Something amazing happened.
Etwas
Not
Erstaunliches
only did she
geschah.
get up and start running
Nicht nur rennt
for the
sie,
source of that flute song, but millions and millions of gopis from all directions began running toward the source of that flute song.
rennen auch dahin.
Why?
Warum?
Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita Vistaviya Eva Nijarupataya Kalavi. They're all manifestations of her own mood of love and affection for Krishna. Each individual mood is taking a personification as any gopi. So they all heard their own names
Nimmt eine Form einer Gopi an.
and heard that same message. I need you now, like it's an emergency.
Es ist ein Notfall, ich muss gehen.
And it was as if their hearts were stolen.
Ihr Herz
The
wurde
most
gestohlen.
greatest treasure. Someone broke into your house and found where you stashed your most valuable wealth and just took it.
Hat jemand einfach das
If you were in your
gestohlen?
pajamas, would you be like, oh, I shouldn't go out? No, you would run out chasing them. Give back my treasure. My japamala,
Meine Chapamala,
my takurji,
meine Detis gestohlen. das
my money.
Kostbarste,
We
mein
don't.
Geld.
Everyone has different values,
Jeder hat
different things that are
Wertvoll,
valuable to them.
etwas anderes.
Whatever it is, we would go running
Die
immediately.
rennen den Dieben
So in
nach.
any situation, some were cooking,
Einige
they left
kochten,
their cooking.
sie haben das Kochen
Some were
verlassen.
massaging the legs of their husbands, they left it. Some were taking care of small children,
Einige haben die
they left
einige
that.
Kinder gekümmert, sie sind alle
Some were
verlassen.
putting on their makeup.
Einige haben Make-up gemacht
When they're putting on their kajal, they're only thinking of Krishna.
und sie denken nur an Krishna, wenn
For his pleasure, for his happiness,
für seine
for
Freude,
his benefit.
für seinen Nutzen.
Some were dressing
Einige haben sich gekleidet,
and they didn't completely finish everything properly. They weren't able to put their makeup, their kajal on properly. Whatever they were doing, they stopped and
alles,
they
was sie gemacht
immediately
haben.
ran by the millions to
und
go
sie
see.
sind von Millionen noch gerannt.
And you can tell what happened there in Vangshiva.
Ja.
But at a certain point,
Eine Stelle
Srimati Radhika saw
hat Rani gesehen,
Krishna is not experiencing as much pleasure.
Krishna
As he should be experiencing.
erfahren.
So her nature is to always increase his transcendental pleasure. So immediately she left that
Und Radharani
place.
hat den Ort verlassen.
and she came wandering this way, past Samir.
Hier am Ufer der Yamuna entlang.
Upon her disappearance from the Ras dance, although millions of gopis were
Obwohl
present,
Millionen
Krishna
von
felt
Gopis da sind,
there's no rasa.
denkt Krishna, es fehlt alles.
Because if the source is gone, the complete power, the complete Shakti, then
Vollständige
he wasn't feeling inspired. So he left that rasa dance with millions of gopis present to go search after the one, that is Srimati Radhika. How dear is she to Krishna?
Wie wertvoll ist sie?
He found her at Dir Samir, and then he began walking with her in
Und
this
läuft mit
direction.
ihr in diese Richtung hier.
And then he began to try to pacify her. So she sat down right here.
Hier hat sich Radhika
And Krishna was explaining,
und Krishna hat gesagt,
without you,
ohne dich
there is no ras. There is no meaning to ras. And the only reason that I even live in Vrindavan is because of you.
She has. Wolltest du etwas,
Hmm?
wolltest du etwas noch sagen? Hast du nicht so gemacht? Ah, she said, oh, we come from Angshivat. I thought she's.
Yeah. And so from Vangshivat to Dir Samir and then to this place. And here Srimati Radhika sat down and Krishna was trying to pacify her by serving her. So if you see in the picture here, did you
Da
all see?
seht ihr.
Here he's decorating her hair, braiding her hair, putting flowers in her hair.
Mit Blumen im Haar.
We should understand that the pastimes of Radha and Krishna are not like
Viele von
our
Radha
pastimes in
sind
this
nicht
material world.
Spiele in der materiellen Welt.
Shastra says, Atmendriya Pratibanchakare Baligam, Krishnendriya Pratiichatare Premanam. To try to serve our own senses or the senses of the other material bodies in this world, that is called lust. But to try to satisfy the transcendental senses of Krishna, they're pure and transcendental.
Krishnas Seele heißt
This is called prem,
zur Freude heben.
transcendental divine love.
Transzentrale göttliche Liebe.
So here, Krishna is feeling more and more satisfied
Krishna ist
by
immer mehr
serving
erfreut.
his nearest and dearest. Radhikaya Priyaya. His dearmost Srimati Radhika.
Die geliebte Srimati
And this is
Radhika.
also one of the places
Das ist einer der
that
Orte,
proves, without a doubt,
ohne
the
Zweifel,
supremacy of Srimati Radhika in
Radharani's
Vrindavan.
Höhergestelltheit ist hier erfüllt.
That Krishna has left everyone
Krishna hat alle verlassen
for her,
für sie
and then he was serving her here.
und hat ihr hier gedient.
So now let me finish the third part of the verse denoting bhakti.
Und jetzt, was ist der dritte Teil?
Because bhakti really means
Bhakti
anukulyena
bedeutet
Krishna
Krishna
anushilanam. What is favorable for Krishna,
Was ist
what is
förderlich?
exclusively for his happiness,
Was zu
for
seinem
his
Freude
pleasure,
ist, für
and
sein
his
Glück,
benefit,
zu
that
seinem
is known
Nutzen.
as pure bhakti.
Das heißt reine
And the
Bhakti.
word benefit is extremely important in this context. Because sometimes we're looking like, hey, he's serving her. That's pleasing to him.
Das gibt
And that is for his benefit.
Das ist so sein Nutzen.
Also, sometimes
Manchmal
with baby Krishna, Mother Yashoda will put him down and go to save the milk, which is boiling on the stove.
hat ihn weggelegt. und
Because she
sie-
knows
sie
that with that milk
gemacht.
she can make so many wonderful preparations for Krishna, which she can't make with her own milk.
Das kann sie mit ihrer
And
eigenen
so
Milch
although
nicht
Krishna
machen.
is not happy in the moment, she knows that he will be happy for a very long time. And her only intention is how to please him and how to serve him. So this is favorable for him, for his happiness, for his pleasure, and for his benefit. Whereas others might please him
Andere verlassen
without
ihn vielleicht,
intending to please him.
ohne mit
Let's say he wants a good fight, so any demon will fight with him.
Ein Dämon.
But the demon's intention is not for his pleasure,
Aber der Dämon
or for
will
Krishna's
nicht
happiness, or for Krishna's benefit.
Ist nicht
So bhakti is
die ist
a very specific thing.
etwas sehr Spezifisches.
And so now when you come back to kirtan, which
Wenn
we're
wir
going
zu
to close with
Kirtan
kirtan. Kirtan is a process of
Kirtan ist ein Prozess
bhakti.
von Bhakti.
That means it must be for Krishna's happiness,
soll für
for Krishna's
Erfreuen
pleasure,
sein.
and for Krishna's benefit
Und für Krishnas
to be
Nutzen.
considered actual or real
Das ist
kirtan.
etwas Echtes.
That
sein kann.
includes hearing Harikatha, Shravanam. That is a
Shravanam.
process of bhakti. It must be done for Krishna's
Das ist
pleasure.
für Krishnas
Does it have a cancel? Nothing? Okay. For Krishna's pleasure.
Für Krishnas
Kirtanam,
Freude.
for Krishna's pleasure, for his benefit. Smaranam, for Krishna's
Smaranam,
happiness, for
für
Krishna's
Krishnas
pleasure.
Freude.
Krishna Chandra is very technologically adept. So, if the kirtan's purpose is for serving Krishna, then it can be considered real kirtan. And so when we are singing, when we are speaking about Krishna,
Wenn wir über Krishna sprechen,
when we are hearing about Krishna,
Wenn wir
all
über
of
Krishna
its
hören,
purpose should be that Krishna should be pleased with my endeavor.
Krishna
And
soll
first
mit
and
meinen
foremost,
Bemühungen
the
erfreut
most
sein.
important aspect of bhakti, which is hidden within the verse of the definition of bhakti,
Definition of
anukulyena
Anushi.
Krishna anushilanam, anu. It means to be in the association of it, under the guidance of his pure devotees. And also in the verse defining what is the essence of all advice. Tannam rupacharitani chikittat anu smrityo kramena rasanam manasi niyoja tishtan rajetat anuragi jan anugami. 3 times anu is told, our Gurudev said 3 times, that means anugapya, anugapya, anugapya. Always in the association of and under the guidance of Krishna's pure devotees. By that association, then our inclination to serve Krishna will not only awaken, but will continue to increase more and more. So with that, we will
Mit
continue
dieser Haltung wollen wir
praying that we might be able to come into a semblance of kirtan. Are there any questions, comments, additions, subtractions, challenges?
I think longing for Kirtan.
That was kirtan.
Also, but
Just one question.
Yes.
If you could say something about when we take prasad in this context.
Okay.
Prasad nehmen in dem Kontext.
The question is, can I say something about when we take prasad in
Wenn wir
this context.
Prasad nehmen in diesem Zusammenhang.
First, we must understand what prasad is.
Was ist Prasadam?
Generally, we think it's time to eat, so we all come together to eat
Ja.
because we need to survive, and
Wir
it
müssen
tastes
überleben.
good, and it makes us happy and
macht
comfortable,
uns glücklich.
and we can sleep well, and we're
Kann
peaceful.
ich gut
And,
schlafen.
but the word prasad
Das
literally
Wort
means
Prasada
mercy.
bedeutet, heißt Gnade.
So the mercy of Krishna is coming
Die
to us
Gnade
in
von
a
Krishna
form
zu uns in einer
which
Gestalt.
looks like
Es sieht so
food.
aus wie Essen.
And as we approach Krishna,
Wenn wir
he will
Krishna-
reciprocate with us accordingly.
Dann wird sich mit uns erwidern.
What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita?
Ye
Ye yata
yatanam
mam
prapadante
prapadyante
satevi vajana.
tam sataiva bhajamyaham. As one approaches me, I reciprocate accordingly. So if you approach Krishna's names for the sweetness of it, to enjoy it, then that's what you will get. You'll get enjoyment, but you won't get bhakti. But if you approach his names for the purpose of serving and pleasing him, then bhakti will manifest as a result. If you approach his mercy in the form of Mahaprasad, which is not different from him, Mahaprasade Govinde, it's not different from him.
So, es geht hier darum,
If you approach it in a mood of Mahaprasad Seva, that I want to serve this aspect of Krishna,
diesem Aspekt von Krishna
not
dienen.
serving like giving to everyone else, but serving meaning to bhaj.
Bhaj,
This is the
verehren,
root of the word bhaja, which means to worship or to serve.
verehren.
It is called prasada seva. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur says,
Prasada
prasada
seva.
seva purite hoya sakala prapanchaja. That he wants to serve Mahaprasad. So instead of approaching it with the mood to enjoy it,
Anstatt
which is
diesem
what we will get
Schönen
as a
zu
result,
genießen,
enjoyment. If we approach that Mahaprasad with an understanding or a proper mood,
wenn ich weiß, dass
then the
er
result
ist,
of that prasad seva will be the increase of the mood to love and
eine
serve
Stimmung
Krishna.
aufkommen, Krishna zu lieben.
Every day, as we're making the offering
Wenn wir die
to
Opferung
Radha and Krishna,
für Radha und Krishna
we chant the Bhoga Arti Bhajan.
Sing
And
the
in that
Bhoga
bhajan
Arti
by Srila
Bhajan
Bhaktivinoda Thakur,
from Bhaktivinoda
he gives a
Thakur.
very beautiful description of what's actually happening. What is this Mahaprasad? Bhaja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari, Shri Gaura Hari Sohi Goshta Vihari, Nanda Yashamati Chitta Hari. Then he goes into explaining, now Krishna is coming with all of his friends to Nanda Bhavan, Yashoda
Nanda
Bhavan.
Bhavan.
And there he's sitting down with all of his friends.
Und
And then
sitzen
he
mit allen
eats.
Freunden.
Who is cooking?
Wer kocht?
Who's cooking for Krishna? Srimati Radhika. She got a benediction from Durvasa Muni that anyone she cooks for will have a very beautiful and long, healthy life.
Alles, was sie kocht.
Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba are the
Das
king
kann
and
ein
queen
langes
of
Leben.
Vrindavan.
Mutter Yashoda hat das gehört.
So she's got a lot of wealth. She bribes the family of Srimati Radhika with so many jewels. They're very greedy to accept this. This is all part of the Ras and the Leela. And they send her, Radhika, you go and you
Oh,
cook.
Radharani, du kochst.
So Radhika goes every day to Nanda
Jeden
Bhavan.
Tag geht sie nach Nanda Bhavan.
And she cooks for Krishna with so
kocht für
much
Krishna.
love and
Mit
affection.
so viel Liebe.
And as Krishna is tasting this,
Und wenn Krishna
Parama
es
Anande Krishna Korena Bhajana, he's tasting her love and affection through the medium of what she has cooked.
was sie kocht.
Because as she's preparing it, all her moods of love and affection for
Alle
Krishna
Stimmungen der Liebe
are entering into that.
gehen
And
da
Krishna
hinein.
is tasting it and
Krishna
experiencing
kostet das.
extreme bliss and
Und
happiness.
er nimmt riesige Freude auf.
But then he knows, I want to reciprocate with her love and affection. How can I do this? He's very expert. So he'll take something, bite into it. What is this?
Was ist das?
Send it back to the cook.
Und gibt es den Koch zurück zu Radharani.
So they'll bring it back to her.
Bringen sie Radharani zurück.
Then, this is called Adhara Amrit.
Adhara Amrit.
Now, in the material world, it's a perverted reflection
In
of the
der
spiritual
materiellen
world.
Welt ist es eine
But if you were
Reflexion.
in love with somebody
Wenn du in Liebe bist mit jemandem,
and they kiss something and sent it through someone else to you,
das eben
that would be very
jemand
dear.
anderen mit zurück.
Krishna is basically doing that
Krishna
and
macht
sending it
das auch.
back to her.
Und sie gibt es zurück zu Radharani. Hat's geküsst.
So she receives those remnants of
Sie
Krishna
nimmt
with
diese
great
Überreste von
happiness.
Krishna mit großem
And then
Glück.
she distributes some of that to her friends.
Und gibt es
All of her
einigen
gopi
Freunden,
friends and
allen
her
Gopis
maidservants
und
are
ihren
tasting
Dienerinnen
that.
das zu nehmen.
We should understand that this prasadam is
Dieses
the medium
Prasadam ist Medium
of arranging the meeting of Radha and Krishna.
Ein Treffen von Radha.
So when the pure devotee
Wenn der
is
reine Devotee
eating, we think they're eating. But actually they see this plate of prasadam as a rasa sthali.
Orden von Prashadam.
This place is a rasa sthali. Vangshivat is a rasa sthali. But this is the special place where the rasa of Krishna and Srimati Radhika's meeting within separation is taking place. They're not in each other's
Sie
direction.
sind nicht direkt zusammen.
They're not right in front of each other. She's in the kitchen with her friends. He's there. But still a meeting is taking place on that plate. So there's a meditation.
Gibt es eine
And
Meditation.
so if we approach that prasadam in the mood of serving
So in dieser
their
Diensthaltung,
pastimes,
ihre
then
Spiele,
what will happen as a result is that
Was geschieht?
bhakti will increase in
Bhakti
our hearts.
wird kommen in unser Herz.
That's why I don't know if you've noticed, if you've ever seen a video of Prabhupada or our Gurudev or any
Gurudev oder Prabhupada,
pure devotee,
reine Devotees,
if they are with others of their own,
wenn sie so
nature.
unter sich zusammen sind,
then they will be honoring that Mahaprasad
Nehmen Sie
and
Mahaprasad.
remembering the pastimes of Radha and
erinnern
Krishna.
sich an die Spiele von Radha.
Say Anamritapal, Radha Krishna
Krishna
Gunaga,
Gunaga.
glorifying the glories, the pastimes, the qualities of Radha and Krishna while they are taking prasad. While most people, while
Die
taking
meisten
prasad,
Menschen, wenn sie
are
essen,
talking about anything else.
über irgendetwas
Oh my
anderes.
God, that's so good. Oh, I want more of that. Like, what about the show, your favorite game, or anything else? We talk about material things.
Denken über
So then you
materielle
will see
Dinge.
them by themselves. Only taking by themselves because they're not taking. Our Gurudev said, I've never eaten anything. I
Gurudev hat
do
gesagt, ich
prasad
habe nie im Leben
seva.
etwas gegessen.
So instead of approaching it with the mood to enjoy it, that I'm going to eat this, we approach that particular aspect of Krishna, that mercy form of Krishna, in a mood of seva. And the way to serve that aspect of Krishna
Aspekt
is by ingesting that aspect of Krishna here.
hier
There are different ways to
einzuverleiben.
serve Krishna. So many different ways. And that form we take internally.
Das nimmt man in sich hinein.
And that nourishes not only our body, our mind, our heart, but also our atma, our soul.
Das, was die Seele wirklich hat, Erinnerung.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying,
Bhaktivinoda Thakur sagt,
the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable sense of all of our senses. The most wicked and the most greedy. Lobhumoe sudurmati, the most wicked. In two ways, it is the most terrible.
zwei Weise,
Jifva Begum and Bacho Begum. It talks nonsense and it's always greedy to taste wonderful things. The tongue. It has no backbone, Gurudev would say.
hat keine Knochen.
How to control this most wicked of all of the senses?
Wie willst du seinen Sinn kontrollieren, der nicht mehr Knochen und nicht mehr fest ist?
Krishna Borodoyamoy. Oh Krishna, you are so
Krishna ist
merciful.
so gnädig.
Kodibare Jiva Joy. You have given us something to help us control these tongues.
Du hast uns etwas
Svaprashad,
gegeben.
your own mercy
Svaprashad, deine
in the
eigene
form of
Gnade,
this
in
Mahaprasad.
Form von Mahaprasad.
So we should honor this prasad and
So
serve
sollen wir
this
das
prasad
probieren zu
while
ehren.
calling out the glories of Radha and Krishna.
Und singt die
And
Herrlichkeit
very
Gottes.
loudly, and I'm looking at the altar right there, you see, Chaitanya Nitai, Preme Dako, Chaitanya Nitai. Preme Dako means loudly calling out.
Laut singen wir.
Shishi Gaur Nitai
Jai
ki
ki
jai. One thing I didn't tell about here, there's a reason why I sang the kirtan the way I did before. Starting off with Panchatattva, then calling out Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga gesungen.
and then going into Mahamantra.
Und dann Mahamantra,
Then-
dann Radha Govinda.
But I brought Radha Govinda to Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Patimon. And then into Hare Krishna again. There's a flow.
Gibt einen Flow.
So first calling out for the mercy of Nitai
Zuerst
Gauranga,
rufen wir Nitai
then Hare Krishna
Gauranga.
Mahamantra because Radha and Krishna were meeting there in
Radha und Krishna
Vangshivat.
treffen sich am Vangshivat.
Then coming here, Krishna, 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 he's searching for Radhika. He was
nach
by
einer
himself.
Radha. Er ist jetzt alleine.
And she's also only thinking of Krishna.
Und sie denkt auch
But then
nur
when he
an
found
Krishna.
her, then they came here.
Dann kommen
And
sie
when he was
hierher.
serving her,
Wo
because he's
ihr
braiding her
dient,
hair, there's a name, the Sanskrit word for hair is Kesh.
Kesh heißt Haar.
And so Krishna, who is braiding the hair of Srimati Radhika, is also known as Keshava.
Und Krishna, der Radharani's Haar.
So here,
schmückt
Krishna
als
Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava. Bahimam. So now there's, you could say some kind of, he's giving her shelter or she's giving him shelter.
Die Radharani
But
ihm
then,
Zuflucht.
because there's a beautiful meeting, then this is Hare Krishna,
Und
Hare
dann ist ein wunderbares
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Zusammentreffen.
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. With also, very soon afterward, impending
bald
separation which took
kommt
place.
wieder Trennung.
So, Kirtan has so many different
Kirtan
internal meanings
hat so
to
viele
it.
innere Bedeutungen.
No prasadam, you'll never look at the same again.
Das muss nie wieder gleich anschauen.
Just down the Parikrama mark,
Unter dem
not so far away,
Parikrama, nicht so
there's a
weit
place
weg,
called Panigaon.
Panigo.
And all of the gopis were carrying thousands of preparations
Tausende von Präparationen
to give
gebracht
to Durvasa Muni.
Für
Because
Durvasa
it's
Muni
proper
zu
that
bringen.
you should offer foodstuffs to the Brahmanas.
für den Brahmana zu offerieren.
So they were going to worship him and offer him so many foodstuffs.
Sie offerieren
But
ihm
there was
so
a
viel.
problem.
Aber es gibt ein Problem.
Yamuna was very full,
Yamuna war
and
so
they
voll,
couldn't cross over
sie
Yamuna at the
konnten nicht
time.
über Yamuna gehen.
Krishna told them, don't worry.
Krishna hat gesagt, kein Problem.
You should just, when you get to the banks of
Wenn ihr zur
Yamuna,
Mutter zu Yamuna
call
geht,
out
müsst ihr nur rufen,
that Krishna is Nitya Brahmachari.
Krishna ist ein ewiger Brahmachari,
They
ein
looked at him like,
perfekter Mönch.
but you're not a Nitya Brahmachari.
Du bist doch kein Brahmachari.
He said, just say it and she
Sag's
will part.
einfach, wenn es wahr ist, dann geht, dann funktioniert.
So they went to Yamuna and they said,
Sind sie zu Yamuna gegangen?
Krishna is Nitya Brahmachari.
Krishna ist ein ewiger
Eternally a
Brahmachari.
brahmachari. Means he's completely self-satisfied,
Er ist immer selbstzufrieden.
doesn't need anyone else or
braucht
anything else,
niemand anders
has
in
no
dieser Welt,
desire outside of
hat
himself,
keine Wünsche außerhalb von sich selbst.
which is true.
Das stimmt.
Because all of those gopis
All diese
are his
Gopis
own
sind seine eigene
manifestation.
Manifestation.
Srimati Radhika is not
Radharani
different from him.
Ist ja nicht verschieden von ihm.
Duivastu bhedanahi shastra parama. All scriptures are saying there's no difference between these
Es
two.
gibt keinen Unterschied zwischen
They are
diesen beiden.
ekatma, one soul,
Ein
but only
Atma.
in two forms for the purpose of
Zwei
experiencing the exchange
Gestalten.
of rasa.
Rasa zu kosten.
Do you have the shloks flowing through your head when I'm telling it? Do you have the shloks flowing through your
Ja,
ekatma navapi bhuvi pura Radha Krishna pranaya vikriti
Radini
Radhini
Shakti
Shakti
Rasman.
Rasman. And all of those other gopis are her own manifestations for
Alle Gopis
serving
sind ihre
Krishna.
eigene Manifestation.
So they are at the same time not different from him and
Sie sind
yet
nicht verschieden von ihm.
in specialized manifestations. So he is Nitya Brahmachari.
Krishna ist ein ewiger Brahmachari.
So they went to Yamuna,
Zu
Krishna
Yamuna
is Nitya
gegangen.
Brahmachari,
Krishna ist
and
Nitya
she opened up
Brahmachari.
and they were all
Yamuna
able
hat
to
sich
cross
geöffnet
over.
und sie konnten
Then they
rübergehen.
brought all of those
Sie haben
ingredients to
all diese
Durvasa.
Sachen zu
Not
Durvasa
ingredients,
gegeben.
beautifully prepared plates of
Wunderbare
Mahaprasad.
Präparationen, Mahaprasad.
And Durvasa, he took everything. Thousands of plates of prasadam, ate everything.
Präparationen gegessen.
And then they said, how are we going to cross back
So, wie werden
over?
wir jetzt zurückgehen?
And Durvasa told them,
Durvasa hat ihnen gesagt,
you go to Jamuna and say,
Gehst zu Yamuna.
Durvasa never eats anything.
Durvasa hat nie etwas gegessen.
And they're like, you just ate everything. He said, just tell it.
Präparationen gegessen.
So they went back to Jamuna. Durvasa never eats
Durvasa hat noch nie
anything.
etwas gegessen.
Jamuna parted, they were able to go. Because he wasn't eating it. He was doing prasad seva.
Prasadsewa gemacht.
So it's so important. Our Gurudev said in the same context, I have never chanted anything.
Ich habe noch nie
I
etwas
do
gechantet.
Harinam Seva,
Ich mach Harinam
serving
Seva.
Harinam Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So intention, how we approach
Was für eine
something,
Absicht
is
haben.
everything on the path of
Das ist
bhakti.
alles auf dem Weg der Bhakti.
The same activity can be performed by two people and have
Kann die
extremely opposite
gleiche
results.
Tätigkeit sein, aber gemäß der Intention kann es genau das Gegenteil
Someone can be chanting Hare Krishna and speaking about Krishna, and the result will be that they will be fully cast into illusion in the material world, enjoying the results of their increased wealth, their increased sense gratification, and their increased position,
Und
name, and
bekommt
fame.
Geld und Position.
And another person,
jemand
full of humility,
voller
with
Demut,
tears flowing from their eyes and a heart overflowing with love for Krishna,
Liebe zu
will
Krishna.
tell the same mantra and the
Das
same
gleiche
kata.
Mantra und das gleiche
But
Kata.
because of the difference in their desire, intention, and mood,
Andere
that
Unterschied.
one will be absorbed in the
Der wird
pastimes of
verliert
Radha
sein
and Krishna,
in die Spiele von
serving
Radha und
them
Krishna und dient ihnen
in love and affection.
in Liebe und Zuneigung.
Two opposite results for the same activity. So,
Gleiche,
how we do,
Resultate für die gleiche
what we
Handlung.
do, with what intention is the most
geht immer
important
die
thing.
innere
And that was a
Intention.
supreme speciality of the teachings of our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Swami. So, quick kirtan and then Bhang Shiva. everything in Vrindavan is for a reason, whatever happens. Hare
Krishna